Hey everyone, so as you may know, or you do know since you were compelled to watch this, Twitter's announced it's closing Vine, just didn't give a date certain as to when that's going to occur. But from my perspective as a first user of a number of video app products and video platforms, like, well, I say first user, I mean I was like the first person that absolutely used it, but among the first, I can say that Vine is going the way of Seesmic, 12 Seconds, TV, Tout, Meerkat, and Vidoco, which I was on the advisory board. And there's a fundamental reason for this. Because the one problem that all of the apps I just mentioned have is they limit the time length of the video. Now, there are practical reasons for this. The longer the video, the greater the file size. The greater the file size, the more server space you need to accommodate the files, and the faster server you need to better service the user. The problem is that users, video makers, of which we all are to a degree, sometimes just want to rant. And if you give them, say, 12 seconds or 6 seconds like Vine does, or 12 seconds like 12 seconds.tv, they run out. Or if you give them 30 seconds like the original Tout, with the exception of Shaq, they run out. People find that annoying. And they want, they always say, I want more time. And they express that idea in the next video they made after the video that cut them off. The reason why YouTube lasts so long, aside from the fact that it was one of the first, Blip TV was also one of the first, is that it's flexible. You can have a vlog of just a few seconds long, maybe 15 seconds, or you can have one that's 9 minutes or 90 minutes. There's no limit. There used to be, in the early days of YouTube, only select channels like mine, thank you very much Chad Hurley, were able to upload videos of unlimited length. But the norm then was 15 minutes tops. That's it. Can't do anything longer. Of course, now that's changed because YouTube has more money to provide more space for more videos of whatever length they happen to be. Within reason, of course. And so that's why all of these programs have fallen off, but there's a catch. I didn't think Vine, 6-second video app, was going to last long until I realized that Twitter was really giving it favorite app status at the time. If they had not done that, Vine would have fallen off a long time ago. Well, look at Meerkat. Imagine if Twitter had allowed Meerkat and Periscope to just compete head-to-head on Twitter. Meerkat would have won. And the reason why Meerkat would have won is because it had a better and more seamless fit between social interaction and video than Periscope did initially. Periscope is improved, but the quality of Meerkat's interface was so vastly superior. But because Twitter didn't favor Meerkat, in part because of Meerkat's more guerrilla approach, which the Twitter executives didn't appreciate, Meerkat is no longer, ceased to exist. In the case of Tout, it was fueled by the use of it by Shaq at the behest of its founder, Michael Downing. Sorry, Michael. Who announced his retirement, Shaq did, using the Tout app. That got Tout a lot of exposure, a lot of free media, thanks to sports journalists and bloggers covering that Shaq announced his retirement on this neat new app, this neat new video app. In Vidoco's case, we started off with 30 seconds, expandable to 45 seconds, and then eventually kind of creeped up to a minute. Vidoco's video quality was always superior, even to that of Tout. but we just didn't have the funding to really get traction going. All of these video apps and others really survive best when they have a social media platform of their own. Something where people can establish their own profiles, engage with others, and then use those video apps as a form of communication within them. Ideally, as part of a type of timeline or fire hose, but it's not a good idea to just develop the video app on its own. It's not going to survive. It's not going to gain traction. Integrated with a kind of social media or blog platform, it will gain traction. But the way these have done it, it's not going to work. Local Amir said it best. It's not a tech problem, it's a people problem. And most people just don't go out and make videos all the time. I do. The people who attended events like VloggerCon did. The people who are still on Vloggerheads vlogging as I speak do. But the vast majority of people want it simple. They just want to sit and text and do that. We have to give them an incentive to pick up a phone and make a video and say something and put their face out there. The trouble is, and I'm kind of going off the script that I wrote in the blog post, but I want to add to this, is that there's something psychologically going on when people want to say something in text that isn't what they'd say in person. Video, for all practical purposes, is that person in person. Yeah, people do crazy things on video, but for the most part, they're not going to get on video and diss someone else with their face and words the way that they do in text. Think about it. Think about it. That doesn't say anything good for our society at all. No, it doesn't. But if you want to train people to use video, you've got to give them an incentive. You got to give them some other reason, a raison d'etre to be on that platform other than just making video. You've got to allow them to connect with other people. Stay tuned.